This is Sarah, and we're here at the site of the overnight parking for this week. Do you want to show us around, Sarah?
Sure. So this is the office sleeping quarters for the volunteer that's on duty. I stay here Monday through Friday, and then we have a volunteer base that comes in Saturday and Sunday to help with the overnight safe parking and managing that. It's pretty basic. We have the garbage can, and we have some totes here that we don't have a lot of storage, so we use these totes to. We have paper products, plates, cups, towels, food, kettle food, such as macaroni and cheese and a cup of noodle and things like that, and some other odds and ends that they may need, shampoo, things like that, in these little totes here, and then a little cooler that we can keep their belongings in. We have the porta potty, which we were able to work out a stellar deal with one of our, we have somebody volunteering to move the porta potty every 2 weeks, and so that saved us about $400 a month, and so that's very nice. And then we're required to have a wash station, so Emmanuel Baptist bought us this little washing station and a bucket. We got a bucket. The water goes in the bucket. We use Dr. Bonner's soap, so it's all biodegradable anyway. Not a big deal, but if somebody wants to see, we just anyway. So there's the bucket.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
And people park here, right?
Yes.
Every
so,
2 weeks, and then they
so
switch
at
churches.
This particular location, this area, this strip of grassy, which actually is gravel underneath, but this strip of grass right here is a safe parking site, designated area, and at night, you see we have these cones here. At night we block off both entrances to the safe parking area so that other folks don't drive through, or other people don't come in the middle of the night and just park because they heard somewhere through the grapevine that there's somewhere safe to park. Everybody is background checked. So what we're looking for is registered sex offenders, Class A felonies, arsenic, and violent crimes. And so they're pre-screened and selected for that. We also do wraparound services, so we offer care coordination and resource navigation for all of the clients to try to make sure that they're on. There's 3 things that we always do. We always make sure that they're on coordinated entry, which is a system through community action that everybody, all the money is funneled through on, just like it sounds, coordinated housing entry. And so all the housing people that have programs pull from that coordinated entry based on a sliding scale of vulnerability. And so everybody is put on coordinated entry. We immediately, the second thing that we always do is make sure that they have their food, basic necessities. So we make sure that they got medical and DSHS, basically, if they need that, which most of them and all of them do. And then we work on my dog, yeah. We work on setting everybody up with a doctor's appointment. So typically what we try to do is target the root cause of their homelessness. Sometimes that looks like addiction, and sometimes it looks like mental health. Sometimes it looks like straight health care purposes and reasons. Sometimes it's because of a grief of a family and they haven't gone through the process of overcoming that. And so we work with them on trying to figure out what the root cause of their homelessness is, and then help them to create goals, to think about things that can be goals, and then walk with them step by step to accomplish those goals.
Cool.
And so...
what do you think, as you think about the Skagit Leadership Project, what would be a hope, or what could you see potentially our group helping you out with?
Yeah. So as you can see, there's nowhere for people to come together and be kind of a community. And I had explained this to you, but it's important that you all know that in the summertime we had a tent, and everybody would be able to use the hot kettle, and make some kettle food or charge their phones or laptops and things like that under this tent. Well, with the weather changing, there's nowhere for them to do that. So that's why everything is stuffed underneath the camper, so that we can try to keep it from the elements and getting ruined. And so in the summertime, we were starting to build a little community base where we're becoming familiar with each other, becoming a family basically, and having that eliminated has as soon as people get here at 6 o'clock at night, they go straight back to their car and they have to get into their blankets because it's too cold. And so the real need is a community area. And it would be nice if it was a community area and shower. That would be the ideal situation and the need. So if we had that little community area, it would just look like maybe a little small space where we could put like a table in there. We've had families come through that have children that need to do their homework, and it's very difficult, as I had mentioned to Elizabeth, to live in your car, especially a teenager. But to also not have the opportunity, and then to crawl back in your car and have to do your homework and try to do all these things, it's very difficult for them. And so this gives them a little bit of a sense of normalcy, and so that when they do, they can just go to their car when they need to go to sleep. So community area is key in making them make do best with the situation that they're in. And I know that there's a huge stigma around that. People want to be homeless, and that may be true for some of the population of people that are out there, but Skagit County has a 0.4% available housing rate, and so all of the guys that I work with are already on different programs. They're all low income. There's nothing available that they can afford, and they're on waiting lists for every single program that's available for housing. One of them has a voucher for housing, and we can't find anything available and we look often, and we cannot find anything for them to use that location. And if you don't use it within a certain time frame, a year, then you lose it and you start back over, and the cycle continues. And so that's why this safe parking is so important, because the cycle does it's a rotating door at this point without housing being available. And so the other need is a shower trailer, obviously for medical purposes and hygienic, and even children that are going to school or going to work, or even if people were looking for jobs, being able to take a shower is crucial. So in a perfect world, I guess I would say the ask is for a community and shower location. However, that would be able to work out. And I've shared a couple of different options with Elizabeth on what my thoughts are on that, and she can share that with you. But that's really the need.
Thank you so much for your time, Sarah.
Yeah.